Hey, Gavin, how you doing?
Good. There we go. There's my camera. I'm a real person. Hey, so good to meet you and
You
for
too.
real. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be talking to you.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to be talking to you. Nice hoodie.
Oh, thank you. Love the good guy, though.
Oh my God. Yeah, I made sure he was on camera to terrify your viewers.
I have one upstairs, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
signed by Don Anthony.
Oh, wow. I'm jealous. I
Um,
saw him on I was watching a interview on Shudder, all these great horror people. And I can't believe how young he looks for having made that movie. It
I
just
know.
blows my
I was like,
mind.
I figured he'd be much older.
I know he must be a vampire or something because I couldn't believe. I was like, he looks so. I mean, I don't know his age or anything, but I just couldn't believe how young he looked. So anyway,
I don't know how old he is either, but he definitely looks younger than I thought.
yeah, me too.
Um,
Uh-oh, who's attacking you? Oh
my
my
dog,
gosh,
Thor.
that's Thor.
Yep, this is Thor.
Oh, what a handsome gentleman.
Me and him right now, and he wants my
Uh,
attention.
Oh well, I should go get my. If my dogs were in here, we wouldn't be. They'd take over. I wouldn't be able to even talk. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what this one's trying to do.
Wow, is he like your co-host?
Um, he can be. I mean, he definitely interrupted one of my other interviews before in the past. So
Oh my God, he's cute.
thank you. The mini golden doodle, right, bud?
Ah, mini golden doodle, and the god of thunder apparently.
Yeah, because he was the biggest of the litter. That's what we called him.
Oh, I love it.
Um.
I actually had a dog named Thor when I was growing up.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was our first dog.
Are you gonna bother me, bud?
He's he's like, I'm just gonna conduct it.
Um.
Do you remember Johnny Carson, Tonight Show?
Sounds
Like
familiar.
before Jay Leno, there was Johnny Carson hosting the Tonight Show, and Ed McMahon always sat on the couch next to him and was like his co-host. So Thor
Oh,
is kind of like your Ed McMahon.
that's cute.
Yeah, Ed McMahon was awesome. So
I
Thor
definitely have to
has.
look up a clip to.
Oh yeah. You could get lost watching Johnny Carson stuff. It's great.
So how did you become involved in working for films and TV?
I grew up a big fan. I kind of always knew I wanted to do it from even when I was a kid. I think my friends and I made our first. I've been going back to all my old VHS and digitizing stuff, and it kind of brought back some memories. And I think I made my first attempt, and I say attempt because it was so bad, at a short film when I was in junior high, or they called it middle school. So I've just always wanted to do it. And around when I was around, I don't know, I got out of high school. College wasn't for me. I already knew I wanted to make film. So I just came to LA and I started hustling and getting whatever work I could. And my first gig was actually, I was a casting assistant. And that was a good first gig to have because I saw people auditioning and I was working on commercials and stuff. And so I kind of got a sense of, just how tough this industry can be. I always wanted to write and direct. But it's an expense. It's hard to direct because you need to have money to back up your projects.
Right.
But writing, you don't have to have money to do. So I just kept writing, whether it be in a notebook with a pen and paper or, on a laptop or my home computer. And, I kept brushing up those, I kept building those muscles and skills, whether I had a budget or not. And wow, fast forward after doing every odd, weird job you could to survive in LA, I met story editor Mike Ryan because we both actually were working out at the same kung fu school, which is kind of fun to think that, my first break into getting paid for a script, which was the 2003 Ninja Turtles series, was because I'd, been doing Kung Fu with somebody. He's a nice guy. He really did give me a shot and a break. And, I'll never forget it because it did help open a door and change things for me.
Yeah, I was given some advice too recently during my one of my recent interviews that I don't have to go to college just to do what I want to do. So
Yeah, I will say you don't have to. One of the things I've always heard is that for film, you do get your hands on equipment, you do learn. It's more about the network you build, right? Like, so if because filmmaking is you can't do it in a vacuum by yourself. It's just too hard of a task.
yeah.
And one thing I've heard that I think in retrospect, looking back, is, film school or film programs do build a team around you that they're going to go off and get work, or you'll get work. And if you stay connected, you can all help each other out. I got scared around 24 years old because I was doing a lot of on camera, like I was acting and modeling and, like I said, just hustling anything I could. And the work slowed down for me. And so I did go to school. I went to college out here. I just went to community college and focused on marketing. And the strides I made in marketing really helped my film career, which is a really strange thing. But it did, because I got work in marketing work in entertainment. And then I started building relationships and meeting people. So, I wouldn't say you have to go to school, but it also helps, I don't know. What do you think your focus is? What ideally, what's the perfect creative job for you?
I think I would be good in animation. Like I'm been drawing pretty much my whole life, and that's something I've been really interested in. I've been practicing a lot, but I don't really know animation per se. I don't have the right programs, but that's something I've always been fascinated with. And since I do digital work and I watch all these behind the scenes features, I'm just so fascinated with how everything comes together.
Yeah. Well, you might you don't have to go to a 4-year school and get a degree, but you might take a couple animation classes just to see what tools are being used. I'll tell you, I took an animation class. I'm a writer. I can't draw. No one wants to see my drawings. They're terrible. But I took an animation class while I was in school, and it changed how I saw film. Because I used to think of film, and especially action sequences, by, say, a minute, or by dialogue, or by scene. And after taking animation, I was thinking in frames. So I think it really helped my brain in some ways, because I was analyzing, by the frame and by the second, instead of, it gave me like a unit of measurement to think about when filmmaking. So now when I storyboard for other people, I feel like I have a better, and my storyboards are terrible, by the way. I feel like I have a better sense of, just timing, basically. It's interesting. I would have never thought that taking that class would change how I perceive film.
The other thing I would definitely be into would be writing, actually, because I think I can come up with a lot more new ideas than all the reboots that everyone's making nowadays.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure you could.
I have all these ideas down. I just haven't been able to make it work. Yeah,
it's a challenge. Do you the other thing that really helped me is comic books. And I know we emailed a little bit about the comic book that I was just working on. I was very frustrated because I was trying to make these films to show people and to try to get my foot in the door, and I just didn't have the budget to make good looking films, whether I had good ideas or not. And I thought to myself, very inspired by Ninja Turtles, actually, and Eastman and Laird, I thought, well, maybe I'll make a comic book, because I can convey my ideas in a story, and it's easier for me to self-publish a comic book than it is to make a film. And I think that's one of the things that helped people see that I could tell stories. Yeah.
Right. I used to write fan fictions in such weird ways, but that was something I would do to express myself, I guess. That I when I
Oh
write
yeah.
stories, I kind of put myself into it to kind of spread some awareness to autism and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of want to do when I tell stories. I want to show more representation because there's not a lot of that in the industry, and that's something I really want to see more often.
Absolutely. Well, I think you're already doing it. I mean, the fact that you represent yourself in a professional manner and get hold of the people you do and interview them, and you're outspoken. I think you just need to keep doing what you do, because like you're clearly already on the path. It just needs to build momentum, right? It's like the snowball going down the hill.
Well, thank you so much. I just keep being me. I don't even
Exactly.
give myself the attention or anything. I just introduce myself, and all of a sudden I'm getting these interviews or packages in the mail. I just get them.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that says something, right? There's
Oh, for sure.
a natural charm and a talent to it that and also you're pushing, you have a mission, right? You have an objective, and you're not shy about it, but you're polite about it. I think it's fantastic. So
Thank you so
while
much.
oh yeah, for sure, while you're trying to navigate this very difficult world of getting hired for telling stories, definitely keep doing what you do, because you're growing a brand anyways, right? Here comes the marketing guy talking. You're already growing a brand, and that's so important nowadays.
Oh, for sure. I definitely try to use representation when it comes to my interviews or when I use my gaming channel. That's what's most important to me at this point, to let others know that I'm able to do something.
Yeah, well, this is your time, right? This is your time to take that message out to people. Thank goodness people are listening a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was expecting not to get as much interviews that I have over the years. I mean, of course, I get the occasional polite no, but the people I've been talking to, it's just incredible that I get the chance to meet with certain people, whether it's artists or superhero actors or Star Wars. I never expect to get any of those when I reach out.
No, it's cool. Like I said, it's a testament to your skill and to your personality. I was thinking about, because you reached out to me, and by the way, I'm not as exciting as Star Wars or superhero actors, but you reached out to me, I think, 6 months ago.
It was actually over a year ago, actually, and I was reading my messages on the Messenger app, and I looked up who you were, actually, because I actually almost forgot about you. So long.
That happens a lot, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I actually accidentally hit the thumbs up when I was cleaning up my stuff. So I was like, and then you replied after that. So I was like, okay, well, make it work.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. Messages. Yeah, no, it's perfect. Because, it's like, I think when you originally reached out, I was actually writing on 3 shows, if you can believe it.
Oh, wow.
Like when the pandemic hit, I was just determined not to say no to any job I could possibly do. And animation kept going, right? Whereas live action had to shut down quite a bit. Animation was still moving. So there was a good 6 months where I'd kind of buried myself in projects, and it's eased up now, and I can do more fun stuff like that. Actually, it's crazy. I've been really focused the last month or two on, I wrote a feature that I'm really excited about. I finished the comic book, which you've now seen, and I've been able to do more stuff like this, like speaking with you. But it's because you came back. You said, okay, I didn't hear back, or we didn't connect a year ago, which is, I can't believe it was already that long ago.
Yeah.
But here we are now, which is great. The whole time we've been talking, the last 10 or 15 minutes now, I'm obsessed. I have to show you how bad my storyboards are. So I'm going to dig one out real quick. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I got it. It's hilarious that but I want you to see my how bad my stick figures are, basically. Okay, here's a good one. So, but I love doing it. It's a fun objective. So that's
Not bad.
uh, well, it's not exactly good, but it conveys, right? It conveys the storytelling. That was
Right.
for I had the fantastic opportunity to produce and direct a music video for John Carpenter, the horror filmmaking legend,
Of course.
amazing musician. I'd worked with Sacred Bones Records and my buddy Ben, who co-directed with me. He's an amazing cinematographer, and we had timed this music video out to the second, and that's, I think, the kind of thinking, because we already had the song, we had Mr. Carpenter's song, so I would listen to it and just plot out shots, and we beated the video out by the second, and that's something I wouldn't have done had I not taken that animation class, I think. Here's a good one. All the zombie guys getting there.
That is actually pretty good.
That's pretty fun. Yeah. So that was for a video called Utopian Facade, which is on YouTube. But it's, the amazing John Carpenter.
I know the work of John Carpenter, and I didn't know he was involved with the music. So.
Yeah, he scored most of almost all his films. And like I think the legend is out of necessity. He did the Halloween theme. I mean, that shows you he's a master. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I actually just rewatched Halloween Kills the other day. So.
Oh yeah. What'd you think?
That was actually really good. I had not seen it since it came out on like Paramount Plus or whatever ones that came out on streaming services.
Yeah.
And I got the DVD, and I was like, to heck with it, I'm gonna watch it again.
Nice. How awesome is Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh, I love her. I knew a lot of her work from when I was younger, from like Disney and stuff. But as I got older, I was introduced to Halloween and True Lies. But to me, she's a perfect screen queen.
Oh, I know. I was wondering the other day, because I was looking at an awesome photo she had posted on Instagram. I was wondering, when did the term scream queen first get used? Because it's got to be her, right? I mean, that's her, but like, when did that term ever, when was that term born, I wonder?
I'm gonna have to look that up, because I know the term, I just don't know where it came from. But not only do I like Jamie at the Scream Queen, I'm also become quite a fan of Neve Campbell from Scream. She's like the queen for that too.
Did you see the new Scream?
I did. I just saw it last week finally, because it took forever.
I have not seen it.
Theater.
Did you like it?
I actually really liked it. It was definitely true to the original film, so that's how it's all connected.
Nice.
And now we got another one on the way, so.
I know. This new one did really well, right? I think it was very successful.
I mean, for some reason, some people didn't like it, but I liked it, so that would matter.
Oh, nice. That's how I feel about the new Matrix. I know a lot of people did not like it, but I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I was a little confused at first because I wasn't feeling where it was going right away, and up until the first hour.
Yeah, well, I think
it got better.
And I feel like maybe we were all supposed to be confused along with Neo, right? Like as it unfolded. Yeah, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of stuff I really liked about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I am disappointed I didn't get to see it in the theater. We watched it on HBO Max, which was cool. But because the pandemic was so bad when it came out, we were just trying to be safe. But I really wish I could have seen it on the big screen.
There was like 100 movies that got pushed, and they keep getting pushed, and I want to see them in theaters. But I'm okay with them seeing at home, so it's safer. But sometimes I do not want to pay the $20 all the time just to get it on Amazon or whatnot.
Oh,
but when I see it for free on HBO, that's totally worth it.
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
So what was your inspiration for becoming involved in films?
I think for me, I'm a daydreamer. I'm constantly, there's just, you know, I was always one of those kids that was kind of lost in the clouds, daydreaming. And I think for me, all of this, there's an escape to it. There's an escapism. And, you know, growing up, I was lost in these fictional worlds as a fan.
Yeah.
And I think it just, the natural next step for me, at least, was to want to participate, you know, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I loved all this stuff so much. Yeah. I wanted to be part of it and make my own. The first creative thing I had ever really tried to write was actually a role-playing game.
Oh.
My friends and I were, you know, playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, and there was a really cool sci-fi role-playing game back in the day called Star Frontiers that I'd play with my brother and his friends. And I wanted to make like kind of like I was really into stuff, you know, like Blade Runner and the Max Headroom TV show, like kind of cyberpunk stuff before I understood what cyberpunk was. And so I wrote this game for my friends and I to play that was kind of like a cyberpunk role-playing game. And that, I think, was my first, and that's what's so great about role-playing games, is it's the same kind of creative muscles you're flexing to write stories and to create worlds and stuff. So that, I think, was and you know, I just, you know, in high school and then right out of school, I was more comfortable sitting in a coffee shop typing out or writing out, you know, a story or characters or something than I was doing other things. And I just never stopped doing it. And I just kept knocking on doors and bothering people till I got to do it for other people, basically. I don't know.
But yeah, no, I definitely like sci-fi fantasy content. That's definitely something I watch more than any other content growing up.
Same.
And there was a lot of some of my favorite books I wish would turn into movies, but when they had a movie, they failed enough to not have a whole franchise. Like the Aragon book series.
Right.
I'm number 4. I definitely wish Percy Jackson was better, but I'm excited to see what Disney Plus will do with it now.
Right. So are they going to do like a series or something?
Yeah, it's going to be a TV show. Rick Riordan, the author, is directly involved in it this time. So
oh, cool.
He'll be part of that more than what he was involved with in the movies. I mean, the first movie wasn't bad, but the second one was definitely not good.
Right. Yeah, I never saw the series. I remember I actually worked at a bookstore, I think when the first one came out. That was one of the jobs I did while I was trying to break in. And I loved working at a bookstore because I was exposed to so much. But I remember when those books hit.
Yeah, I read every single book, and now I'm working my way through the graphic novels because I actually have not looked at them. But
yeah.
The other thing, which is cyberpunk, actually, I believe it's cyberpunk, is the Alita Battle Angel movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I read the graphic novels; those are fantastic. I must have seen the movie like 50 times by now because that's how.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, that's how really good it is. So I'm definitely hoping we get more, another movie at least, because that's how much I liked it so much.
Oh, nice. And when you were reading
it leaves it open for another one.
Oh, it's ready for more. When you were reading it, is it like a manga? Was it a Japanese?
Yeah, it's a manga, so I'm reading it backwards.
Cool. Nice. I got to tell you, one of my favorite manga, my brother turned me on to it. It's called Monster.
Okay.
It's about a surgeon that saves this child that was going to die, but he probably shouldn't have saved him because the child goes on to become like this like crazy serial killer. And so the doctor feels like he has to hunt this kid down. It's such a good manga.
I'm looking that up right now, actually.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's called
Monster.
Yeah, it's called Monster.
All right, I would definitely take a look at that later.
Then my job here is done.
I only ever read a couple of manga, like a couple of the Pokemons and the Alita series, and then now you got my interest in another one.
Oh, it's good. I guarantee it. It's a really cool, kind of creepy. Yeah, I really like it.
The other one I want to
I
check
think they
out is
made an
Ghost in the
anime too.
Shell.
What's that?
Oh, the other one I want to check out is Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, Ghost in the Shell is the best.
It keeps
I'm
getting
a
popped up on a
huge fan.
recommendation. I'm like, okay, I better check it out now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So how do you prepare to work on a project that you get involved in?
Good question. And it, you know, for me, getting ready for projects depends often on, is it like my personal project or am I being hired? If I'm being hired, there's already kind of a process in place with like the, you know, the producers or the network or the, you know, the company owning. But usually, you know, someone has some kind of broad ideas of what they'd like to do. If we're talking animation specifically, which, you know, obviously that's what I've done the most of, you know, you sit, well, in olden times, you'd sit in a writer's room with other people, but lately it's been a lot of Zoom meetings like this.
Right.
But, you know, you speak with like your co-writers or your head writer, you know, showrunner type, you know, person. And you know, you kind of look at your whole season, you know, what do we want out of the season? Where do they start? Where do we want them to end? You know, what you look at your characters, especially, you know, you kind of have an idea of the plot of, you know, oh, well, they're going to do this or that, or there'll be a cool scene where they do this. But, you know, what's the internal journey as well for each character? How are they going to change from the events of the story? And you just start. For me, I have all these great visual aids. For me, when I'm, you know, I'm a pen and paper kind of guy.
Yeah.
And when I get ideas, this is let's see, I got to show you one that's not top secret, because, you know, these ideas very, very, I was looking for something that had already come out. Okay, well, for instance, I'll just show you this. So I just write out ideas, you know, just
Oh yeah.
you know, just even if it's a sentence, or, you know, I have a notebook, and or, you know, I'll do it on my phone too if I'm like in the car, or, you know, not when I'm driving, but, you know, I'll do it. I just write down ideas, because you do forget them, you know. It's like that thing they say,
yeah,
if you get a good
absolutely.
idea. Yeah, so, you know, and it's like puzzle pieces, right? Like all these little sentences, you know, Optimus Prime, you know, in vehicle mode, you know, in the dark of night, flashing his lights is a cool idea for me for like a spy kind of thing, right? So I wrote that down for an episode I was working on. And then, you know, you just keep writing these down, you know, Optimus Prime and Megatron, you know, face to face arguing about such and such or this. And then when you start putting all those puzzle pieces together, you know, say you forget or you're stuck, you look back at your notebook with all your ideas in it, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do that. That would work perfectly here. I put it here. So that's, you know, you'd put together a beat sheet, which is a very broad, this is kind of what our episode will be. And then you turn it into a premise, which is a little more organized. You know, and every time you finish one of these steps, you send it to your executives and your head writer, and they give you notes and help you improve it. You know, and then you go from premise to your outline, and that's where you really write your episode.
Right.
You know, it's, if you have a strong outline, then when it comes time for a script, you know, you're almost just copying and pasting and formatting. On the 2012 Ninja Turtles, which is, you know, one of my best writing experiences, I had the, you know, good fortune of writing on that for multiple seasons. So by the third or fourth season, I was working with Brandon Amon on that. You know, we understood our episodes and our language so strongly at the outline stage that once an outline was approved, just copy and paste, format, make sure it looks all good, the timing's good, and then, you know, go from there. But I've worked on other shows where the head writer, the producers don't want that detailed of a outline. So, it's a little more broad. And then when you get to the script stage, you do have to think a little more and insert a little more dialogue or a little more action. And so it depends on who you work for. But for me, I'd say that the biggest way I start getting into it is my notebook full of ideas.
Yeah, and I've seen your credit works for Disney, Marvel, Nickelodeon, and Star Wars. You got to work on so many of these from many of these major companies. What do you enjoy most about being a part of those companies and working on their shows?
Wow. Well, I think it's just getting to play in the universe of these characters that I already love. Ninja Turtles, I was already a fan of. I bought the toys growing up and loved the original film. Read the comic books. So getting to participate in that world and put words in Donnie's mouth or Raphael is a real treat. Absolutely the same on Transformers. Transformers is such a legacy, and Optimus Prime is such a favorite character of mine that getting to add to his story in one way or another was a real honor. And just, I don't have the words for how much I enjoyed doing it. Star Wars was different because it was original characters. It wasn't like, I'm going to write, Luke Skywalker or something who'd already existed. It was a world that we were familiar with.
Yeah.
But we were putting voice to new characters, and I was very excited to do that because Brandon, once again, who I'd worked for on that, and the team at Lucasfilm had created amazing characters that had not had really representation in the Star Wars universe yet. Kaz, who's our lead hero, was our first, Asian American lead. And to be able to be on the team, giving him agency and making sure not to, fall into stereotypes and giving him fun adventures. One of my favorite things about Kaz is he's a hero and he's a really good pilot, but he's not the kind of guy running around with a blaster. I think the few times we did give him a blaster, he couldn't shoot, which I love heroes like that. He kind of goofballed his way through everything. But yeah, I loved the characters in the world of Resistance. Working on it, I would travel from Los Angeles to up the San Francisco area, and I can't express how exciting it is as a grown-up nerd to be doing story meetings at Lucasfilm or Skywalker Sound. We had done some meetings at Skywalker Ranch. And that's growing up loving this stuff, you dream of seeing those places, let alone getting to sit and work and create story there. So every project has amazing things that I'm very thankful for.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially being involved with your favorite franchises, much like Star Wars, that has to be like mind blowing. You can't even believe you're there.
It still blows my mind. It's been a few years, and I still pinch myself. And I've met amazing, talented people. They say, sometimes you go into a meeting and you can tell who the smartest person in the room is. And the thing about those Star Wars meetings is like everybody in the room was the smartest person in the room. It was intimidating at times because of the talent and both writing and execs and producers. It almost felt like going to film school and getting paid for it. Like the stuff I was learning and the conversations we were having about story. It was, I almost felt guilty. I'm like, I'm going to walk away and get to write a story and get paid for this because like, I would almost give you money to be in this room. You know what I mean?
And you sent me a link when we were setting up this interview for the Lego Avengers episode that you worked on.
Oh yeah.
That was so much fun to watch. I didn't even know those were still being made actually.
Yeah, they're living on YouTube, and I think two different YouTube channels. Which one did you watch? I can't remember.
Where Loki wants to be a hero.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Loki is arguably one of my most favorite characters to write. He was a joy. Yeah.
He's definitely a really interesting character in the MCU as well. So he definitely puts a lot of twists and to whatever he wants to do in the movies he's in.
Oh, totally. And he's such a fun, you love to hate him and you hate to love him. Like that's
sure.
such a great villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Lego Marvel adventures that we've done, I love the angle at which Lego and Marvel let us approach it, which was, because you do some scripts for animated, and you really have someone kind of say, oh, well, this is a kid show and this is for kids and you got to do A, B, and C. And what I love about the approach on the Marvel Lego stuff is they see it as a show for everyone.
Yeah, of
they want
course.
it fun, and it can't be too dark or too heavy. But they were great about, us, let's have some stakes and let's tell a story that has, we did the climate conundrum was the first adventure I had worked on with them. And it was so cool to be able to include some kind of morality stuff about the climate crisis that, kids should think about. And Lego had told me when we first started discussing it, my Jason, who I worked there, he said, well, the kind of kids that are playing with Legos are the kind of kids that are going to grow up and solve these problems for our planet. And I loved that. I loved that they hit these things head on instead of putting on kids' gloves and saying, oh, the kids can't handle this stuff. It was like, no, let's tell a story that has some impact. And I thought that was great. And it's still funny, and the Avengers still save the day, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like you said, it's for everyone of all ages. And I definitely watch animation all the time. That's like really old that people said I should like outgrow. But no, I don't outgrow it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, don't listen to those people. They don't know what
I don't listen to anyone. I base my own opinions. And with Lego, I used to play with Legos a lot when I was younger, and it wasn't until last year when I was looking for a new hobby to do because there's nothing to do anymore. I just started buying some Legos at the store. I bought some of the new Harry Potter ones actually, and I just been loving them. And I mean, I haven't bought
they're great
in a couple months, but I just like there's so much I want to work on at this point.
Yeah, no, totally. Like I started, especially like during the pandemic, right? It's nice to have something like that. That's a good hobby, and it's kind of good for your brain, but it's not too difficult. And when you're finished, you have a really cool thing. I couldn't wait for the Seinfeld set to come out. I bought that, like if it went on sale at midnight, I bought it at like 12:01 because I was so excited.
I definitely want to get myself the Friends one.
Yeah, and they made another one. They made the apartment and they made the coffee shop, and they're both incredible.
Oh yeah. But Legos can be so expensive when you want the bigger sets, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
at this point.
I know they are expensive.
I mean, the Hogwarts one is like $400, and I'm like, I don't have that.
Oh yeah, and they gain value, right? Like once they're off the market, they really get expensive. I had missed, I was collecting the Lego monsters. I think they're called Monster Hunters or something about 7 or 8 years ago. And I had missed one of the sets, and I got on the eBay looking, and I was like, I almost had a heart attack. Oh my gosh.
I mean, what like people are like what are they, scalpers? They just grab a set and then want double the price for them. And that's how I feel when I'm trying to find older toys or older video games. And they just want triple or double the price. that's just not worth it to me.
Yeah, same. Like I enjoy it when I can like buy it at retail and not like break the bank. And yeah, sometimes I'll do I'll,
Some of them are decent enough, like $5, but when you want a game
Yeah.
like Evil Dead Regeneration for PlayStation 2, I've been trying to find that one, and if people want it for 50 or more.
Wow. So that one's really kind of valuable.
All the Evil Dead games, actually. The
I
original
love Evil
PlayStation
Dead.
one. The original PlayStation
I'm
1
looking.
was like $80 for me to get.
Wow. For the original PlayStation. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I was looking on my shelf to see if I have an Ash figure I could bring out. I love
Oh, I love that.
I love Evil Dead. Let me see if I can grab him without making a mess.
Oh man.
You're gonna see a domino pile of toys in a second. No, I got him. Okay, there we go. Here's my
Oh, I love that.
yeah. Got his
That's the one for
Necronomicon
Evil
there.
Dead 2.
Yeah, I think this is Evil Dead 2 and
NECA?
it's like NECA, like retro, like kind
I
of Amiga
have that
style.
one upstairs.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's great.
I have the Ash versus Evil Dead one. I also have a Toonie Tunes figurine one.
Oh yeah, I
When
love that
try
one.
to find others online, the pricing is just
Yeah, there's some Army of Darkness figures that my buddy and I are trying to collect, and they are not cheap.
no, they're not. And I'm trying to find the Pop Funkos for Army of Darkness, and they're not cheap either.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah.
I was able to collect all the Ash versus Evil Dead ones, but well, except for Bloody Ash, and that was it.
Oh, that's for the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah. How great is that show? I love that show.
I loved it. I discovered the Evil Dead franchise literally last year when I was looking for
Oh,
things
okay.
to watch. I actually started with the TV show on Netflix.
Oh, I
and
love
then
it.
I realized I missed something and found out
Right.
about the movies after season 1. And like, stop the show. I'm going to watch the movies.
Oh, that's great. What a fun way though, like that you can enjoy it and then go back. Like
Sure.
for me, I VHS, like the old videotapes.
Yeah, I have all 3 on tape.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's how I had discovered it is Evil Dead 2, just that video cassette with the skull with the eyes. I was like obsessed with it. And then I must have watched that movie 100 times on video.
I definitely already seen them a couple times by now. But after I literally have the DVDs, I have the tapes, and I have 2 of the video games and a couple of toys. That's how much I got.
I love it.
And I actually went to a horror convention back in September, and I dressed up as Ash.
Oh yeah, I think I saw photos of that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I made the chainsaw actually homemade. I'll grab it right here.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see it. Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Wow, what did you make it out of?
Cardboard.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It looks so real, but I can tell it's lightweight.
Yeah, I spent so much time working on that and making the homemade boomstick, and that was something I worked on. And then I just dressed up when I went and had a lot of fun.
Oh, fantastic.
My
favorite
someday.
Oh, I would love to meet Bruce Campbell. He's the best, right?
Yeah, I heard he's really nice.
Oh yeah, I've always heard that about him, that he's, I met Sam Raimi's brother, Ted Raimi, who works on a lot of Sam Raimi stuff as well, and he's an actor in his own right. And he was one of the nicest people I've met in the horror industry.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Ted Raimi.
I first met Ted actually while watching the I didn't actually meet him, but in the Spider-Man movies. That was my introduction to him. And my Sam movies.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend who I worked on Transformers with. She's a writer, and she got to meet and interview and work with Sam Raimi, and told me that he was an absolutely cool guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, must run in the family. The whole family must be awesome.
And then we get to see Sam again in Doctor Strange movie. He hasn't done a Marvel movie in a long time. So that's
I can't
really
wait.
exciting.
Yeah, he's the perfect director for that film. I can't
Oh,
wait.
for sure. And now that we had Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man movie, and then Andrew Garfield, that just makes perfect sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved that movie. Did you like it?
Oh my gosh, I loved it so much.
I know.
only
I
got
almost
to see it one
cried.
time, but I definitely want to see it again.
Me too. Yeah, I'd like to see it again. I loved it. The everything about it is great.
Out of all the
yeah,
Spider-Man movies, that's the best one.
yeah, that one and Into the Spider-Verse are my two favorites.
Oh yes, in Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, definitely very cool. I heard the
Yeah.
sequel is going to be in like 2 parts.
Wow. Oh. And you're wearing a Miles hoodie, right? Is that the
I am.
Miles style?
Miles.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. I thought that film was spectacular. So
It
I'll
was
take 2
definitely
more.
well made. I'd never seen any animation like that before.
Yeah, me neither. The only thing is I get jealous sometimes when I see stuff that's that cool and I didn't get to work on it.
So you also have written comic books. Actually, you got Alien Race coming out. You also wrote Motor City and Concrete World, which you said.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't even gotten started on it yet because it got to be so late last night.
No worries. Yeah, no, I'm glad you got it. Yeah, Concrete World will be coming out hopefully in stores in about I'm thinking maybe like 3 months from now.
It's not even out yet. Oh my
no,
God.
that was an advanced copy you got.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so
I
you're ahead
posted
of
it on social media. Was I not supposed to do that?
No, it's all good. I appreciate it because now people will, the more people that we can tell about it, the better, because it's an independently produced and distributed comic book. So, I need all the help I can get. But yeah, it's sci-fi, cyberpunk, all those kind of things we were talking about that I love. And yeah, I think we're just basically speaking with distribution companies right now, trying to figure out the best way to get it into comic stores. So,
well, I would definitely read it, and I'll give a big review on it as soon as I.
Oh, well, yeah, especially if you like it. If you don't like it, you can do a small review.
Well, how exciting is it to not only write for TV, but to write and publish your own comics?
It's exciting and exhausting both. I find that comic books are it's a lot of work. It's a very tough medium, but it's so worth it. I was saying earlier that taking an animation class changed how I approach and view filmmaking. Comic books change greatly how you approach dialogue.
Right.
In the best possible way, because it just makes you have to become a more precise writer in your dialogue. You don't have a lot of room, and so you have to convey story and emotion and in a very precise way that doesn't feel like it's just exposition. So I would definitely say to all your viewers who are getting into writing, try to make a comic book, because you only have maybe at the most 7 panels on a page, and each panel only has room for maybe 1 or 2 word balloons. And wow, did it teach me to be a better writer doing that.
And I have to ask, how long have you been collecting action figures?
I've never stopped since I grew up with Star Wars and Kenner, and so I really truly never stopped. You were talking earlier about folks telling you, or this attitude that oh well, cartoons are for kids, you should stop watching them. I dealt with that. I grew up in Colorado, and it's like a big sports town, and nerd stuff wasn't as popular when I was a tween and a teenager. So my friends and I were greatly ostracized for going to the toy store and buying Star Trek toys, or whatever we did. Thankfully, popular culture's turned in our favor, and now it's now you're hunting and trying to get stuff that everybody wants.
Yeah.
But I never stopped collecting, and I'm proud of it. And actually, talking about doing what we love, I started a toy company last year, and now my partner and I, Doc Wyatt, who's another animation writer, who's done great things. Him and I have a toy company, and there's a TV show we really, really like called The Prisoner, and it never had toys. No one had ever made toys for it. So we got the license, and now we're making those toys thanks to a lot of awesome people on Kickstarter who helped fund the first wave. And so, yeah, I've made great friends because of collecting toys. It always fires my imagination and inspires me. So I'm not only going to not stop collecting, I'm going to start making toys too. So I'll show you my prototype. Cool. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
I almost knocked over Spider-Man grabbing this. Here is our prototype for The Prisoner. It's a character named Number 6. And he's in the show, he's basically a kind of like a secret agent who gets abducted and basically forced to live in this resort-like prison that there's no escape from. It's a great science fiction spy TV series, and we're so excited to be making the toys.
Well, that's so cool. I just pulled it up right now, so I'm going to add that to my list of things to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. I guarantee it. It's a very cerebral, thought-provoking TV show. So you'll been
collecting toys a long time, too, although we did have a fire a long time ago, so I lost a lot of
my gosh
toys, like original Harry Potter and Star Wars toys from the prequels. So a lot of those were lost. I did start recollecting them over recent years, so now they're just in the boxes, and I just get them from comic book stores, and that's it.
Do you prefer to open them or keep them in the package, or both?
I've been keeping them in the packaging.
Yeah, I kind of do both, but sometimes the packaging's so gorgeous that you can't. Like, I got this a couple months ago, Johnny Cash from Super 7.
Oh, he had a figure?
Yeah, this just came out like a couple months ago.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, how could I open this? It's just too gorgeous, right? Like, I can't open that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got all my toys in boxes now because I'm getting ready to move. But
oh yeah. That's the bane of our existence is we have to put stuff in crates and boxes.
Oh yeah. But I've been definitely trying to track down a lot of these toys I had when I was younger. So, but some of them are really pricey now, and I'm like, ugh.
What's your grail? Like your what's the one that you want to replace the most?
There was a favorite Star Wars toy from the Revenge of the Sith movie, where it was like a 12-inch Anakin Skywalker that turns into Darth Vader. So you can change his costume. You just dress him up in from Anakin to Vader. And that was like my favorite as a kid.
Oh, cool. I never saw that one. That sounds pretty good.
I'll send you a picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, I want to see it. That's cool. Like
definitely a couple of the Harry Potter ones as well, but those toys are becoming a lot more money.
Yeah, collectible for sure. I'm thinking about getting a Harry Potter tattoo, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll get your opinion. Do you remember the Thestrals?
Yep.
The horses that like the skeletal horses.
How can I forget?
Okay, so I was thinking about getting a Thestral on my arm.
Well, if you want, maybe I can design one for you.
Do you approve of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I can design it for you if you want. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I have I won't start stripping and showing all my tattoos. But I have a tattoo artist who I use, and I love his work. He did Nosferatu. He gave me a Twilight Zone tattoo. And Nosferatu is my favorite he did. And so I work with him, and he does all my work now. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I don't have
Yeah,
a
he's a really
tattoo,
talented
but I
guy.
would like to get one at some point.
Yeah, yeah, it's once you get one, they're like addictive. You're like, because you're like, oh, that was easy. I could get more, and then all of a sudden you don't have any more room on your body. But
Well, I definitely say it was a really fun interview today, Gavin. I had a lot of
oh,
fun
thank you.
chatting with you.
Yeah, me too. Super casual, which is the way to go. It's fun chat.
Oh, for sure. We definitely talked about a lot of really great things, and you told me a lot of really fun facts and how much you enjoy collecting like I do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I do. It's pretty. I guess it's pretty apparent. But I have a friend who I grew up with who she said something once that always stuck with me. She said, I never want to be friends with people who are not obsessed with something because it shows
Right?
passion. And I think she's right. I get along better with people who are passionate about things in life. So
Yeah, and I just connect with people over social media for that because I actually don't have any friends and I don't connect with the same interest with my family. So I talk to people on social media to make me feel better.
yeah, well, and those are your friends, right?
Yeah, I know them for a
You
long
have a
time now, so they become friends.
yeah, totally. You have a white thank God for technology, right?
Oh,
Like
for
because
sure. Join
people
on
like
chat
yourself and
rooms,
myself,
videos,
yeah,
everything.
yeah, we can meet like-minded people no matter distance, which is great.
Oh, for sure. I definitely love having that availability.
Me too. Me too.
Definitely been a
Well,
fun chat, and I really
yeah, I'm
appreciate
up.
the time talking with you.
Me too. I'm up for a chat anytime. So keep me posted on what you're up to, and I'll do the same. And I want to see what that Anakin figure looks like too.
Yeah, I'll once we log off, I'll get a picture for you because I've been trying to find that
Awesome.
one for ages.
Cool. And I'll keep an eye out here too.
All right. I will
Awesome.
send you the link to our chat in a little bit.
Oh, awesome. I'll promote it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Gavin. It was great talking.
Bye bye. Good talking
Bye.
to you. Have a great week.
Good to
Bye
meet
bye.
you. You too.